A few days ago, the DC FanDome was hosted as a kind of virtual Comic-Con, which could be followed comfortably from home. The live viewers were offered a really exciting program with a lot of news, for example the first footage of The Batman and a trailer of Zack Snyder's legendary Snyder Cut were shown. In the following, we would like to summarize the most important highlights of the FanDome so that you can stay up to date with your upcoming DC favorite movies as well. On the one hand, there are news about The Flash with Ezra Miller, which has been promised for years. Fans who were already afraid that the production would now come to a complete standstill were proven wrong. Director Andrew Muschietti and others involved presented a few updates, so The Flash will be a groundbreaking film at DC and will play a crucial role in its creation. Those responsible have a kind of multiverse concept in mind in which, among other things, different Batman versions could coexist. Similar to Flashpoint in the comics, different characters with different storylines can collide and open the door to new stories. Thus, the also announced appearance of Ben Affleck as Batman in The Flash makes sense. The Flash is scheduled for release in US cinemas on June 2nd, 2022. Wonder Woman 1984 also had an important new revelation. In a trailer, the new villain Cheetah can now be seen for the first time. Nevertheless, many fans still ask themselves how director Patty Jenkins will approach the time jump to 1984, which is already anchored in the title. In addition to Gal Gadot, Chris Pine will also return to the camera as Steve Trevor. Newcomers are Kristen Wiig as Cheetah and Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. The release date of Wonder Woman 1984 is October 2nd, 2020. Unfortunately, no trailer was released for the next panel, but at least other footage was included. And of course, we're talking about James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, for which, among other things, an epic behind-the-scene video was released. Furthermore, all characters of the movie were officially unveiled for the first time. After it was already clear that Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag would return, the other actors were also fully revealed, including John Cena as Peacemaker, Pete Davidson as Blackguard, and Idris Elba as Bloodsport. By the way, James Gunn also posted a poster for the Suicide Squad on Twitter, where many protagonists can be seen in a kind of 70s World War II scenery. The official cinema release of the Suicide Squad is on August 6, 2021. Another highlight of the FanDome was the first trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League, which was mentioned at the beginning. Besides the elaborate trailer, it was also announced that Justice League will be released in 4 one-hour parts, first on HBO Max and then as a complete work. The Snyder Cut will have a similar structure to the movie version, but Snyder promises a completely new experience, both in terms of plot and design. It'll be exciting to see what path Snyder's cut will take and whether it'll result in a new trilogy together with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. We'll know more next year when Justice League will be released in the USA on HBO Max. What the international release will look like is still unknown. The absolute highlight of the DC FanDome, however, was not one of the previously mentioned films, but rather the first teaser trailer from Matt Reeves' The Batman, because it left a lasting impression on fans and critics alike. From the somber portrayal of the Riddler, the collaboration of the Gotham PD, and the still originally decorated Batcave, characters like Catwoman and the Penguin were also spotlighted. All in all, a coherent trailer with an ending that definitely makes you want more. The expected release date of The Batman is October 1st, 2021. Did you follow the DC FanDome live? And if so, what was your impression? Feel free to write it in the comments. In 2 of the 3 movies of the Star Wars trilogy, Hayden Christensen plays Anakin Skywalker. Although his popularity among fans was not really high at the time, this has changed in the meantime with the animated Clone Wars series. As it is reported now, Christensen is supposed to join the cast in the new Obi-Wan series next to the already confirmed Ewan McGregor, and return to the role of Anakin and Darth Vader. If you believe some fan theories, the series could show a series of flashbacks to important scenes from the Clone Wars, because there Anakin and Obi-Wan fight side by side. Of course, we are still talking about purely speculative statements at this point, but in our opinion, there could definitely be something to it. By the way, the Obi-Wan series will be exclusively released on Disney Plus in 2022. The upcoming Disney movie, Raya and the Last Dragon, is the first of its kind because, at least in the beginning, it was produced solely through Zoom and Home Office. Responsible for this is Winnie Pooh director Don Hall, who in his opinion produces the most beautiful animated film he has ever seen. Now a first CGI picture of Raya and her faithful companion Tuk Tuk appeared. The Disney adventure revolves around a world created by dragons in which the warrior Raya and her gang of other underdogs want to find the last living dragon. Of course, there's a reason for all of this, because this is the only way to save the kingdom of Kumandra from destruction. Among others, Star Wars actress Kelly Marie Tran plays Raya and rapper Awkwafina plays the dragon Zizou. Raya and the Last Dragon will be released in US cinemas on the 12th of March 2021. For quite some time now, there have been rumors that Netflix is working on a Resident Evil series. On Thursday, the rumor was finally confirmed on a Twitter post which was accompanied by some introductory words. Among other things, the Wesker kids were mentioned, who will move into Raccoon City and might uncover secrets. One thing is clear, the series will deal with two different periods. On the one hand with the 14-year-old Wesker sisters who reveal secrets, and on the other hand the time a decade later, when the globe is plagued by monsters infected with the T-virus. Here, the 30-year-old Jade will be in the center of attention, and you can also look forward to the unveiling of some of her secrets, but rather regarding Jade's family and herself. As you can see, the basic plot will of course again be about zombies, and showrunner Andrew Depp promises that there will be something for every Resident Evil fan, and also for newcomers to the franchise. There's no exact date for the broadcast on Netflix yet, but we will keep you informed as always. With The Haunting of Hill House, Netflix provided us with one of the scariest horror series of the last years. The announcement that the second season would follow is now more than 1.5 years old, and really not much has happened in the meantime. But now, the season with The Haunting of Bly Manor even gets its own name and new faces, as you can see on the already published photos. This means that the two seasons are not or only sporadically connected to each other like in American Horror Story, and therefore stand for themselves. According to Entertainment Weekly, there will be a multi-year contract between Netflix and series makers Mike Flanagan and Trevor Macy, which most likely also means that after season 2, there will be no end. The Haunting of Bly Manor is based on the 1898 novella The Turn of the Screw and revolves around two orphans, Miles and Flora, who are raised by a young governess at Bly Manor. There will be a reunion from season 1, however, as actress Victoria Pedretti, who played Nell Crane, will slip into the role of Danny Clayton in the future. In addition to news about the cast and the story, there will also be a first spooky poster, which will give us a foretaste of the second season that'll be released in fall.